In the intricate mosaic of Indian culture, where tradition meets modernity, the questions of faith and identity often blur the lines of political and social discourse. Have you ever wondered if Jainism, Buddhism, or Sikhism are part of Hinduism? Though these religions have emerged from the Indian subcontinent and share historical roots with Hinduism, each has carved out its distinct path with unique philosophies and practices. Yet, the debate over their integration or separatedness resurfaces frequently, particularly in the political arenas, highlighting deep seated issues of identity, conversion, and social justice. Currently, the topic of religious conversion, particularly to Buddhism, is capturing the nation's attention and has been in the news a lot. This resurgence isn't just about changing religious affiliations, it's deeply intertwined with calls for social reform, addressing historical injustices, and the quest for an identity that transcends the oppressive shackles of caste discrimination.
मैं ब्रह्मा विष्णु और महेश को कभी ईश्वर नहीं मानूंगा और ना ही उनकी पूजा करूंगा। मैं राम और कृष्ण को ईश्वर नहीं मानूंगा और ना ही उनकी कभी पूजा करूंगा। मैं गौरी गणपति आदि हिंदू धर्म के किसी भी देवी देवताओं को नहीं मानूंगा और ना ही उनकी पूजा करूंगा।
The spotlight has recently intensified on Buddhism conversion due to significant governmental actions and societal movements in India. Notably, a legal circular issued on April 8th by the Gujarat government has drastically redefined the administrative approach to religious conversion. This directive mandates that Hindus wishing to convert to Buddhism must seek permission from district magistrates, invoking the Gujarat Freedom of Religion Act of 2003. This move categorizes Buddhism along with Sikhism and Jainism as separate from Hinduism for legal purposes, challenging the long-standing exemption these faiths have enjoyed under national laws that viewed them as a subset of the broader fold of Hindu. This legal pivot is stirring considerable debate and reflection on the nature of religious freedom and identity in India. The classification of Buddhism in relation to Hinduism is a contentious legal issue that has originated historically. Buddhism originated as a reform movement within Hinduism around the 5th century BCE, challenging the authority of the Vedas and the prevailing caste system. Despite some Hindu texts later incorporating the Buddha as an avatar of Vishnu, Buddhism has evolved with distinct rituals, philosophies, and ethical codes. Legally, the Indian Constitution, under the Article 25, provides a broad interpretation that seemingly integrates Buddhism within the Hindu spectrum. However, this inclusion is often contested by those who argue that Buddhism's foundational rejection of the Vedic scriptures and the caste system sets it apart as a distinctly separate religion. In India, converting to Buddhism has often served as a potent form of social protest against caste-based discrimination, echoing radical steps taken by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar and his followers. Ambedkar, a fierce critic of Hinduism's caste-based injustices, saw Buddhism as a path to emancipate Dalits from societal oppression. His seminal acts of conversion in 1956 at Diksha Bhumi, Nagpur, where he led 500,000 Dalits to adopt Buddhism, was not merely a change of faith, but a declaration of self-respect and equality. This historical backdrop sets the stage for understanding the significance of recent mass conversions, such as the conversion of nearly 400 individuals in Gujarat on Dussehra in 2023, or the 180 Dalit families in Uttar Pradesh who turned to Buddhism following caste violence. These events highlight that conversion to Buddhism is as much a spiritual choice as it is a poignant statement against pervasive caste-based discrimination. The Gujarat government's recent circular requiring Hindus to obtain permission before converting to Buddhism directly challenges the interpretation of Article 25 of the Indian Constitution, which integrates Buddhism within the broader Hindu fold. This legal contradiction points to a deeper conflict between state laws that aim to regulate religious conversions and the constitutional freedoms that allow for self-identification and religious expression without such permissions. This clash not only highlights the complexities of religious freedom in India, but also raises crucial questions about the role of the state in personal faith decisions. The Bharatiya Janata Party, rooted deeply in its Hindutva ideology, exhibits a nuanced and sometimes contradictory stance towards India's rich religious tapestry. Hindutva, a term popularized by Vinayak Damodar Savarkar in 1923, is often interpreted as seeking to establish the hegemony of Hindus and the Hindu way of life. This ideology shapes the BJP's approach towards other religions that originated from the Indian subcontinent, including Buddhism. The BJP has made concerted efforts to embrace Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, a towering figure in Indian history, known for his role in drafting the Indian Constitution and his advocacy for the rights of Dalits. Ambedkar's conversion to Buddhism was a seminal event, symbolizing his rejection of the caste system embedded within Hinduism. By integrating Ambedkar into its narrative, the BJP seeks to honor his legacy, aiming to attract Dalit voters who view Ambedkar as a hero. For instance, the celebration of Ambedkar Jayanti has seen heightened visibility and state-sponsored events under BJP governance, reflecting this tactical embrace. However, this celebration contrasts sharply with the BJP's broader policies and actions, which often reinforce Hindutva ideals that do not align with Ambedkar's vision of social justice and equality. Again, two reasons why Ambedkar converted was also for social justice and equality. Now, giving an example like the BJP's push for the UCC or the abrogation of Article 370 in Jammu and Kashmir are seen as moves to consolidate a Hindu identity in India, which can be at odds with the pluralistic values that Ambedkar championed. The BJP's policies regarding religious conversions are a point of contention. While the party promotes a version of Indian culture that ostensibly respects all dharmic traditions, its actions often suggest a prioritization of Hindu values. An important example here is again the recent administrative role change that happened in Gujarat, where the state government led by the BJP has mandated that Hindus converting to Buddhism must seek official permission. This move, ostensibly to prevent fraudulent conversions, paradoxically singles out Buddhism as a separate and distinct entity and tries to require governmental permissions for Hindus who are converting. This is reminiscent of the other anti-conversion laws that the BJP is typically famous for throughout the country that prevents conversions to Christianity and Islam. This policy has sparked significant backlash, specifically from Dalit communities who view conversion to Buddhism as a liberation from caste oppression experienced within Hinduism. By placing bureaucratic hurdles in the path of conversion, the BJP government is perceived as attempting to control the religious dynamics and maintain a Hindu identity, which many Dalits feel undermine their emancipatory journey towards Buddhism.
जाति के नाम पर जिनके साथ भेदभाव होता था, रामानुजाचार्य जी ने उन्हें नाम दिया थिरुकलधार, यानी लक्ष्मी जी के कुल में जन्म लेने वाला श्रीकुल या देवीय जन्म। वो स्नान करके आते समय अपने शिष्य धनुर्दास के कंधे पर हाथ रखकर आते थे। ऐसा करके रामानुजाचार्य जी छुआछूत की बुराई को मिटाने का संकेत देते थे। यही वजह थी कि बाबा साहब आंबेडकर बाबा साहब आम्बेडकर जैसे समानता के आधुनिक नायक भी रामानुजाचार्य जी की भरपूर प्रशंसा करते थे।
The BJP's dual approach of celebrating Buddhist figures like Ambedkar while enforcing restrictive conversion policies highlights a strategic political maneuver. This strategy aims to appease Dalit Buddhist electorate by recognizing their icons and cultural significance, yet simultaneously seeks to control the narrative around religious freedom and conversion. This balancing act is fraught with complexities and often results in friction and alienation among Buddhist converts who may feel that their constitutional rights to freedom of religion are being impinged upon. This friction is exacerbated by the BJP's broader nationalistic agenda, which frequently and most often than not champions a unified Hindu identity. In this context, the party's outreach to Buddhist communities can sometimes appear disingenuous, complicating its relationship with voters who may feel caught between their respect for Ambedkar's legacy and their opposition to Hindutva agenda. The concept of caste is intricately woven into the fabric of Hindu religious scriptures, fundamentally shaping societal structures and personal identities within Hinduism. However, the influence of caste extends far beyond the boundaries of Hinduism, affecting individuals and communities across various religions in India, including Christians, Muslims, and Buddhists. This widespread prevalence underscores that caste is not merely a religious construct, but a pervasive social institution that is deeply embedded in the cultural psyche of the nation. The decision to convert, often seen among Dalits and other lower caste groups, is frequently driven by the desire to escape the stigmatization and limitations imposed by the caste system. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar's mass conversion to Buddhism in 1956 was a landmark event symbolizing a rejection of caste-based discrimination endorsed by Hindu orthodoxy. However, converts often find that changing their religion does not completely shield them from caste-based prejudices. The societal perception of caste does not vanish with religious conversion. Rather, it continues to affect their social status and interactions. This enduring impact reflects the entrenched nature of caste as a more than just a religious identity. It is a socio-economic marker that influences various aspects of life, including politics, education, and economic opportunities. In his insightful work, something that you can read if you want to know more about this, is a work by Ross Malik. The name is Affirmative Action and Elite Formation, and it delves into the complex realities of caste mobility within the Indian middle class. Malik's narrative actually reveals how affirmative action, intended as a tool for social justice, carries unintended consequences for those it aims to uplift. He illustrates through familiar anecdotes the paradoxical experience of escaping one's caste. Beneficiaries of affirmative action, he observes, often engage in a deliberate concealment of their caste identities, striving to assimilate into upper caste statuses. This process involves not only denying one's origins, but also over generations, a complete erasure of regional, linguistic, and religious identities. Malik's analysis exposes the deep seated stigmas still attached to being labeled anything close to a lower caste, where individuals and families go to great lengths to hide their backgrounds, even avoiding visits to their native places or interacting openly with extended family members. Therefore, as we delve deeper into these intertwined narratives of religion, law, social justice, it becomes evident that the issue of religious conversion, particularly to Buddhism, is more than a mere personal choice. It's a reflection of India's socio-political fabric. This discussion invites us to re-evaluate how we perceive identity, embrace diversity, and confront historical injustices. The ongoing dialogue about Buddhism and conversion calls us to engage more profoundly with the core principles of equality, liberty, and fraternity. In this rich tapestry of faith and freedom, each thread of understanding and empathy strengthens our political fabric, making it more inclusive and just for all. This debate is not just unfolding in courtrooms or the parliament. It's happening in our communities, challenging us to listen, learn, and empathize with those who seek dignity and equality through their journey and social choices. As this conversion continues and this conversation continues, it beckons us to reflect on our values and the kind of society we aspire to create. Therefore, a few questions remain. Is the BJP in Gujarat finally establishing its stance on caste-based discrimination and also embracing the Hindutva logic of Hindu above all? Second, since we understand caste as an institution, how would you interpret the institutional notice that the Gujarat government has given in a person's quest for dignity and equality?